Welcome to AutoStats. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our deep dives into the tech that powers your car. Today, we are getting into the guts of one of the most fundamental yet rapidly changing parts of your car, the transmission. We're going to break down how they work, why the manual is disappearing, and what that all means for the future of driving. Let's get into it.
Just look at this number for a second, 0.8%. According to the latest data, that's the tiny slice of new cars projected to be sold with a manual transmission in the US in 2025. I mean, that is shockingly low, especially when you think that just a couple of decades back, in 2001, that number was a solid 28%. So yeah, what happened? I mean, where did the three-pedal car go? And maybe more importantly, what kind of technology came along that was so good it pretty much wiped it off the map? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today as we look at the engineering inside your car's gearbox.
Okay, so before we can really understand all the different solutions, we first have to get our heads around the fundamental problem that every single transmission is designed to solve. Doesn't matter if it's a simple stick shift or some super complex modern automatic. It all boils down to this thing called gear ratio. See, your car's engine, it's only really happy and efficient in a pretty narrow range of RPMs. But your wheels, they need to do everything from a dead stop all the way up to highway speeds. The transmission is that crucial mechanical bridge between the two. And honestly, the absolute best way to picture this is to just think about a bicycle. Think about it. When you first start pedaling a bike, you're in a low gear, right? It's super easy to get moving, but your legs are spinning like crazy and you're not going very fast. Then, once you're up to speed, you shift into a high gear. Now it's harder to push, but every single pedal stroke takes you way further down the road. Well, your car's engine has the exact same problem as your legs. It needs different gears for different jobs.
And that brings us right to the modern contenders. Today, there are basically three main engineering solutions to that gear ratio problem, and you're going to find one of them in almost every new car you see. First up is the one you probably know best, the torque converter automatic. This is the workhorse. You'll find it in tons of vehicles, from big trucks like the F-150 to family sedans. The magic here is that instead of a solid mechanical clutch, it uses fluid to transfer power. The result is those buttery smooth shifts we all know, and it makes it amazing for towing heavy stuff.
Next is the efficiency expert, the continuously variable transmission, or CVT. Now this one is really clever because it doesn't have any gears at all, not in the traditional sense. Instead, it's got a belt running between two variable pulleys. This lets it create a literally infinite number of gear ratios, always keeping the engine in its sweet spot for fuel economy. The downside, well, some people really don't like that droning or rubber band feeling you can get when you accelerate. And finally, we have the performance weapon, the dual clutch transmission, or DCT. This thing is pure engineering magic. The easiest way to think about it is like having two manual gearboxes working together. One clutch handles the odd gears, first, third, fifth, and the other clutch handles the even gears. So while you're accelerating in third gear, the computer has already got fourth gear lined up and ready to go. And the result of that pre-selection trick? It is just staggering speed. A really good DCT, like Porsche's famous PDK system, can swap gears in under 100 milliseconds. Now, to put that in perspective, a human blink takes between 150 and 400 milliseconds. So yeah, the transmission is literally shifting faster than you can blink your eye. It's wild. So let's just sum it all up real quick. The traditional automatic, that's your champion for comfort and towing. The CVT, it's all about squeezing every last mile out of a gallon of gas. And the DCT, that's for getting the absolute fastest shifts possible for maximum performance. Of course, they all have their quirks, like how a DCT can sometimes feel a little jerky at low speeds. Okay, so with all this incredible faster-than-a-blink technology, is the old-school manual transmission just obsolete? Well, not quite, because for a small but super passionate group of drivers, performance isn't just about a number on a stopwatch. It's about feeling connected. It's about emotion.
And you know what? The data backs this up big time. When you look at modern sports cars where buyers actually get to choose, the preference is crystal clear. A whopping 90% of Subaru BRZ buyers pick the manual. For the WRX, it's 85%, and for the awesome GR Corolla, it's 71%. This just proves that for a certain kind of driver, the feeling you get from rowing your own gears is way more important than the absolute fastest shift time. All right, so we've waded through a lot of engineering. Now, let's make this really practical. Based on everything we've just talked about, let's figure out which of these transmissions is the perfect match for the way you drive.
Let's break it down. If you're a daily city commuter stuck in stop-and-go traffic, a smooth CVT or traditional automatic is probably your best friend. If you're towing anything heavy, you really need the strength of a torque converter automatic, period. If your number one goal is just maximizing fuel economy, then a hybrid's eCVT or a standard CVT is the way to go. And if you're a performance nut, well, the DCT will probably give you the fastest lap time, but the manual is almost guaranteed to give you the biggest smile.
But this whole conversation is getting a major shakeup from the next wave of car tech. I'm talking about hybrids and all-electric vehicles, and they are completely changing the transmission game.
Okay, one quick but really important point. When you see eCVT on a Toyota hybrid, it is not the same as the belt and pulley CVT we talked about earlier. Toyota's system is this brilliant device that uses planetary gears and electric motors to perfectly blend power from the gas engine and the battery. It's a totally different and way more complex piece of tech. And what about pure EVs? Well, this is the simplest answer of all. They don't need a transmission, at least not a multi-speed one. An electric motor delivers 100% of its torque the instant you touch the pedal, at 0 RPM. There's no power band to manage, so all you need is a single gear to connect the motor to the wheels. That's the secret sauce behind that silent, breathtaking acceleration you feel in an EV.
Which brings us right back to that central question. As technology keeps marching on, giving us transmissions that are smarter, faster, and more efficient than any human could ever hope to be, we have to ask ourselves what we really value when we're behind the wheel. Is it the objective perfection of the fastest possible lap time, or is it the subjective joy of the most engaging drive?
It's a fantastic question, and there's really no single right answer. We'd love to hear what you think down in the comments, and if you're curious to learn more about other automotive tech, we've put some links to our other explainers in the description below. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to AutoStats for more. Thanks for watching.